If you don't know how to set up your camera in Blender, this is the video for you. I've used this exact method for over a year now. It's really easy to set up, it's super user friendly, and I'll show you how to do it. So this is a really good camera setup for beginners. If you're looking for something a little bit more advanced, I've got my Blender for Engineers course and community. It's the top link in the description if you're interested. So the first thing I've already done is I'll create a new collection for the camera just to keep everything organised. What we're going to do is we're going to go up to Add, we're going to go to Empty, we're going to create a sphere. And it defaults to the radius being 1 meter, so we're going to take that down to about 50 millimeters, just because that's the size of the object we're using. We're going to come up here and we're going to rename it to Camera Target. Just like that. Now we're going to create another empty, and I'm going to make this one a cube. I'm going to change the radius again. We're going to take this one down a little bit further to 20 millimeters, so it's a good bit smaller. And we're going to rename this to DOF Target. So now we're going to add the actual camera. So we're just going to come here, we're going to add the camera, move out of the way, scale it down to keep everything organised. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to the camera. We're going to add an object constraint. We're going to add a track to constraint. And we're going to go into target here, and we're going to select the camera target. This means that wherever the camera goes, it'll always point at the target, and we can select the target here. We can move it around, and you can see the camera follows it. We're also going to go into the settings for it here, and we're going to hit target Z. And the reason we're going to do that is because if you come here and we set it to local, just so you can see it, if we select the camera target here, if we rotate that, the camera's up vector will use this object's up vector. And that just allows you to control it a lot easier when you're actually in the camera view. You can just control that object and you can see the axes. So we're just going to get rid of that, we're going to reset all that. The next thing we're going to do, set back to global, we are going to select the cube in here, DOF target. We're going to shift select the main camera target. We're going to press Ctrl P and we're going to parent it. Now the reason we're doing that is so that the depth of field target will, this is the camera's focus point, will move with the target, but we can manually adjust it if we need to. So now I'm going to come over to my animation tab because I've got this preset up for camera viewing. Over here, I'm going to press 0. And we're going to move the camera just so we can see the object here. So I'm going to give you some tips for manipulating the camera and the targets themselves. So if you press G, that's just the grab mode. You can essentially just move it around and it's locked to the plane of the camera on the left here, at the viewport. But what you can do, you can press G and then X, Y, or Z. So if you press Z, it'll lock it to the Z axis here. And likewise with X and Y. But what you can also do is press G and then press Shift Z. It'll lock it to the X and Y axes. It will lock it to the XY plane. And you can do the same with, say, like Shift Y. It'll lock it to the XZ plane here. And that just allows you to kind of smoothly move things. And just gives you a little bit of finer control. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set up the camera just so it's over the top here so you can see our target here. And we're going to go through the camera settings. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to set the depth of field. So if we come down here in the camera tab, we're going to enable depth of field and everything's going to go blurry. So now we're going to go to focus on object and we're going to type DOF target. I'm going to select that there. And you see now it's focused on the actual DOF target there. So if I move the camera and you zoom in, you can see because the DOF target is in the center here, like this microcontroller here is focused on that. But if we move this around, you can see, let's see, we move it to this USB-C port. You can see now that's in focus and the rest of it's not. So you might think that this is a bit too blurry. It's focused on such a small area. What we're going to do to fix that is we're going to go back into the camera. We are going to adjust the f-stop here under the aperture tab. So if you're into photography, you might know that f-stop does a lot more things than just adjust the depth of field here. But for our purposes, that's all we need to use it for. So if you increase the f-stop, it effectively has a wider range of focus. So less and less of the image is blurred. And if you reduce it, it focuses on a much finer point. So let's say we want the entire object in focus, but we want still a little bit of blur on the table here. We can take it up to about 11 there, and that'll do. And something else you've got to consider is dependent on the distance to the camera. So say you've got the camera directly above here, you can have a much lower f-stop value purely because generally every point on the board, because it's so flat, is about the same distance from the camera. But let's say we put it to the side here. You can see that because it's focused on about the middle approximately, these two pins are both out of focus. So we need to adjust it a little bit again. Just like that. But then because the board is longer than it is wide, if you move the camera to say here, again, you've got parts that are slightly out of focus, like the USB-C connector and these pins up the back here. Okay, so I'm just going to change some of the settings here. We're just going to move it up to about here so we get a little bit of glint on it. And we're going to bring the DOF down just so we can get a little bit of this slightly out of focus, I think. So maybe about there would be good. And I want to focus on the nameplate here, so we're just going to move that in here. So that the nameplate's in focus and the rest of it is just slightly blurred. Maybe that's a bit too much. So we will turn it up about that. Yeah. Cool. So the next thing we can do, we can adjust essentially the field of view of the camera. So you can change it to field of view, but in photography it's usually used in millimeters because the actual focal length of the camera. So we're just going to increase it here so that the whole frame, I think about 120 is good here. There we go. So the next thing we're going to adjust here is under the lens settings, we've got clip, start and end. And the way that works, if the camera gets too close to the object, you can see it'll start to kind of clip here. So the way we're going to fix that, we're going to come to the clip start here and we're going to change it to maybe about 1mm. Now the reason we actually have to do this is a very long explanation of computer science and that kind of thing, but because we have decreased this, we then have to decrease this number as well, so we'll take that down to about 10, and that stops, sometimes you can get what's called Z-fighting, where you essentially have, let's just show it off here, so I'm going to move this down by 1 and you see, because these are on the exact same level, the computer can't figure out which one to display on top of the other one, so they start fighting. And you start to get issues like that, even if it's like slightly off. When you start to zoom out, it's quite hard to show here because it's such a small thing, but when you start to zoom all the way out, once you get further and further from the subject, you start to get more of that. So that's why we have to decrease this clip start, or the clip end as well. So we'll take that down to about 10 meters because there's nothing in the scene that's really 10 meters out, it's about there. So there's nothing in the scene that's that far, so we don't really need to worry about it. So now you know how to set up the camera that I've used for the past year. Like I said, it's really easy to use. You can just move things about like this and everything adjusts. You can even animate all the different parts. So say you wanted to have the camera fixed in place or some parts of the camera animating, but you wanted to change focal points. So say, let's decrease the depth of field to make it a bit more obvious. You could have the actual focus point here animate like this. You could have it move around to highlight different parts of the scene. You can animate the actual camera target itself to have things move around. You can animate the camera to have it sort of give this nice pan around. And this is one of the biggest advantages Blender has over CAD packages in terms of rendering capability. You just have such fine control when you need it of all the camera settings, so you can make things look hyper realistic.